coat of adhesion promoter on those. 1 coat on these spots that I needed it is self-etching primer. So those two, this is gonna sit for 5 minutes and get another coat. This is gonna sit for 10 and get another coat. And then we're gonna start going ahead and shooting our Raptor liner. So I moved our compressor outside just so it's not super loud in here and it's also not sucking in the same air that we're gonna be spraying. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. Everything was wiped down, denatured alcohol. It's looking good. I mean, this is the last piece. You got to go for it now. So basically there's no turning back at this point. Hopefully it turns out as good as it's going to turn out in my head, but I'm going to mess with the PSI settings a little bit when I first spray it, see what it's laying like, and then we'll move from there and hopefully we get a good turnout. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. I'm going to go spray another thing of primer and then we'll be good to go. All right, adhesion promoter is down, primer is down, mixing up the first bottle now. We got our air chuck going. We are going to get ready to spray here in a second, so I'm going to set you guys up and you guys can watch.
Too many thoughts on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. I just been living online, my city don't show me no love and that's fine. Fuck local radio stations, I got more plays than all of these rappers combined. I'm going again, I've been going in, I'm fed up with so many things. I gotta just let it all out, I'm talking about the shit they've been talking about. Telling me I should do this, telling me I should do that. Telling me things about rap. Talking the truth and that stab in my back, they will knock me off track. No, too many things have been building, been hard to deal with, I just been drinking. Remember my moves in the past, I'm wondering what was I thinking. Lately I'm living in fear, wondering what if the end is so near. All of this shit going on, the shootings are strong. One shot to the head and I'm gone. I'm losing control but I can't let it go, cause I'm trying to get more. And I've been in the moment, I've been in the zone, and I'm moving alone. I don't pick up the phone when my family call, I've been doing it wrong and I don't know what's happening. Trying to get what I just been imagining, getting close and I just been examining all of the fake shit the game has been packaging. I've been keeping it real, I've been doing what I feel. I've been out here trying to kill every beat, I know I will. Everything I'm working on, every night another song. They've been quiet all along, they gon' notice when I'm gone. I come from a town where most of the people are so close-minded. They go into school and they work in a job, but they don't even like it. I won't be put in a box, nobody telling me what I should rock. Nobody telling me what I should drop, cause I do what I want and just know I don't stop. Recording till 4 in the morning, they snoring. I'm pouring my soul into every story. I'm writing, producing, I mix it, I master. I'm building my craft and I'm not looking back. I've been going doing things I wanna do when I want to. Everybody wanna get away, but they not do. Everybody wanna copy you, but they not you. Everybody wanna be cool, but they not new. Whoa, look how I go. Gonna be a dentist, I still got the flow. Never gonna lose cause I'm still doing both. Never gonna lose cause I've been on the road. Come to your state and I'm killing the show. Know that I'm young and I still gotta grow. Know that I'm working the most, know I'm never gonna choke. And I'm looking back down on the people below. I've been keeping real, I've been doing what I feel. I've been out here trying to kill it.
All right, the third coat is done. I mean, I kind of just went over it again. So this is what we're looking like. It looks a little splotchy to me. I don't really know. It might have to do with my gun, it might not. I'm not really sure. The gun, when I opened it up and when I was just going to clean it right now, it seemed like there was some shit still in there from the last time, but I don't really know. It works, so it looks good. I'm not going to complain about it. So if that's the problem, I mean, I'll figure out the next time when I go to shoot the bottoms of the truck, and then we can always go back and just throw more on top of this, and it'll look perfectly fine that way. So basically, this is just going to sit here for a good while, a couple days, until I'm safe with messing around with it, and then I'll throw it back on the truck. So with that being said, I'm going to finish cleaning up the gun and put everything back together and head inside. What's going on? Good morning and welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to be continuing our series on fixing the old shit box here. I actually just finished bed lining. We will go in there and show you guys what that is looking like. That was in last video. I actually threw down a coat this morning that will not be obviously documented in that video because I'm done with that video. So this is what it looks like now. I cleaned the gun again and it came out way better than it did the first time. So I'm very happy that I decided to go with a second coat here. I was a little back and forth between it because it was already pretty dry, but it just looked real spackled and like the gun must have had some shit in it because it did not spray properly. So we ended up with like a real spitting look, and I really did not like that. So I cleaned the gun out again this morning. We went to respray it. I only mixed up about barely half a bottle, and I was able to spray everything with a nice coat. So it looked really good. It cleaned everything up. So that is going to sit in there for probably at least a day to dry. I got the heater going in there, so that is going to be, keeping it a little bit warmer in there, hopefully clean it up a little bit faster. But for today's objectives, we are going to be doing more body work on the truck because it needs a lot of it. The rust situation on this quarter panel is pretty bad, actually. It didn't look that bad until we pulled this fender flare off. You can see the clips are still in there, but I pulled the one clip out from right there, and we unveiled all that with a wire brush, and then I've just been sanding at it a little bit. I'm gonna keep it as little. I don't want to have to sand all the way the fuck up there, so I'm just gonna fix the little spots as I can. These back here doesn't really matter, so like I'm gonna sand like that out and that out just because there's little bubbles, but we have to remember fender flares are going to be going back on this thing anyway, so that'll all be really hidden, so the bodywork does not have to be perfect. It's basically going to get, I'm just going to primer it, paint it, and go from there. And we'll throw like a crappy clear coat on. I'm not going to waste my good stuff on it unless I really have to go up into the quarter panel more. But yeah, where that stands, I'm going to basically be reshaping that with fiberglass and probably some mesh wire. I'll probably go to Walmart and pick some of that up because that quarter panel is basically going to need reforming there. Down here is pretty bad, as expected. This one is a little problem because it comes up above this body line. This body line down here is all going to be bed lined in probably next week. So that's why I'm not worrying about that too much. The body work does not have to be perfect yet again. It's going to get, wire brushed all the way down, sanded all the way down, get all the rust off there as possible. We'll throw some fiberglass over the top of it to reshape it because there's a couple holes. And then we will primer it with the acid etching primer, and then that's all going to get bed lined, so you really won't see the imperfection there. This clear coat will get fixed. I'm not sure when I want to do that yet because that's going to be a mission in itself. Up top here is a little bit of bubbling, so we will just sand that out, no worries. Down here is a catastrophe though. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to pull this inside liner out because this thing is basically non-existent, so it's gonna take a lot of work. I'm basically gonna be reshaping this whole thing. Probably gonna just angle grind from here and fix this stuff, and then basically put mesh here and just bend it to the shape, and then once I shape it, we will just keep fiberglassing and whatever else over top of it. Or, maybe I have Jake try to come weld in a little piece of aluminum there or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure some out. That's probably going to be the last corner we touch because that's going to be the most difficult one of them all. And then over here, I actually have been working on this one for the last 2 days. Basically, there's a little rust spot there. There's a little rust spot down there. That obviously we're not worried about because it's going to get bed lined. Down in that bottom corner, we're not going to worry about either. But I had already put panel bond in between it because, as we know, this is a big crack right here. So the panel bond was in there. Last night I fiberglassed it all after I sanded it. Let it sit, came out here, sanded it all down again, and just re-fiberglassed it not but 15 minutes ago. So that's going to be, drying, and I'll come back to that. Down here, we're going to fix that corner, and we're going to fix this. Obviously, again, all going to be bed lined, so it does not have to be perfect. And there's a big door dent right there, as you guys can see. That was from when I bought the truck. I didn't even notice it, to be honest. So that's where we're at with that. And then back here, basically, little spot there, little spot there. We'll get cleaned up before the bumper goes back on. I'm obviously going to make this a quick disconnect for next time because I think I'm going to throw the bumpers on, and then we're going to worry about the bottom black line later. So I'm going to have to be able to get the bumper on and off, obviously, and I'm going to have to take it off again to paint back there. So that's where we're going to be with that. I'm probably going to come ahead with the wire brush and clean off those and just paint those black just because little things like that annoy me. So I'll probably end up doing that. But my goal is I want to get some fiberglass down on this body panel before I head in for the day. So I'm going to continue wire brushing at it, wire wheeling, whatever you want to call it. We'll keep sanding, and then I will try to throw some fiberglass down on it, and hopefully I get somewhere here. So I will come back once I have an update. So a lot of time has passed now. I got the garage open. We are looking at this now. Looks real good. Obviously a lot better than it did the first time around. But yeah, that's basically where we're at with that. On the other hand, bodywork wise, I have done 2 rounds now on this fender with fiberglass, and I just threw down Bondo to get that smooth finish in there now. So basically this one is just going to be wrapped up here pretty soon. Once this Bondo is dry, I put a very thin layer on Bondo. You can see most of it, you can see through it. I'm mostly worried about this seam that comes right up here, because the fiberglass will not, it's a short strand fiberglass, so it will not leave a clean finish. So you kind of got to do this with it. So I'm doing with Bondo very thin, and then that'll get sanded to make that smooth finish. Obviously it's not going to be perfect. I really don't care if it's perfect. I just don't want it to be that noticeable. So with that being said, once that is dried, that will get sanded and finished. Then this side, we're actually starting to look like a fender again. That hole is basically patched. It'll get sanded again, and another glob will get thrown there. Same over here. This one's getting almost shaped perfectly now. So it'll get, you know, sanded from underneath, sanded on top, and sanded over top, and then we will throw another thing of that there, and that should finish itself. And, you know, our fender will not have a gaping hole in it anymore. And then once those 2 are done, probably tomorrow, I will work on the front corner. I'll probably prime those in once I finish them, and then we will come up to the front and start working on that. But I'm going to have to go to Walmart anyway to get sandpaper. So when I'm there, I will probably grab some mesh to put there to help form, because the metal forming will actually help me a lot instead of free forming like this. I'm going to do the best I can with this, and we'll see how it turns out. But obviously it would look better if I had something to really stick it to. But with that being said, that's where we're at, and that's probably where I'm going to stop for now. I might come back out here tonight and sand it down, but I'm not going to prime it in tonight. So it'll probably get primed in tomorrow morning. So that is where we're at for now, and that's where I'm going to leave you guys. So I will come back once I am continuing work. I found our reason for our disintegrated cab corners. Well, I should say fender corners. Let's just say that was all sitting up behind this, and it's the same thing on this side. It's pretty bad. Obviously some of it's been washed away by the water or whatever, because I just took the hose and sprayed out all the mud and stuff that was under here. But yeah, it was pretty bad. I really did not expect that to be under there, but that's what happened, I guess. I really don't know how all that stuff got back there. I mean, there was twigs, leaves, anything was back there. It was pretty bad. So we just went ahead and washed all that stuff out of there. My plan is going to be probably, I don't know. Once these fender corners, all these are done, I'm definitely going to clay bar the truck again, because it's going to have a lot of gunk sitting on it. I mean, you could see the dust just sitting on top of this right here, because, I mean, it's been sitting back here for 4, 5, 6 days now. I mean, I don't know. I haven't driven it in a while, but it's just getting a lot of work done, and hopefully we won't have to do any more body work after this. That's the plan, at least. So yeah, where it stands, I mean, there's just a little bit of rust up top on this one to fix, and then that bottom corner is a mess. But we just went ahead and took some sandpaper to this and cleaned it up a little bit more. I'm actually out of sandpaper, so probably tomorrow I'm going to be making a run to the store anyway. I got to get bolts and mesh and hardware and whatever else. So I'll pick up a bunch of sandpaper because we are clean out of it here. I'm actually going to be using mesh to reform this corner over here. So I'm going to place it behind the existing stuff, and we're basically just going to work off that and bend it to where we need it to go, and fiberglass over top of that, and it should be perfectly fine, I think. But yeah, there goes the neighbor. But that's how it's looking over there. We'll come to this side and show you this one. This one's got a little bit more work it needs to be done. It's almost there. It's just got to be filled in a little bit. Obviously sanded some more too. So that's basically where we stand on that. I have to get more sandpaper of variation of things. I need like 80, 120, 300, 4, and 600. So hopefully I can find a big pack that's pretty cheap and has a bunch in there, because I'm gonna need that. And then we gotta pick up 4 bumper bolts and some mesh wiring. So with that being said, that's where I will leave you guys probably for the rest of today, and we will hop into tomorrow's video. Good morning, guys, and welcome back. Well, not really welcome back, we're in the same video, but it is now the next morning. I went out last night and picked up a bunch of sandpaper and some mesh so we can reform some fenders and such. But right now, you know, we're looking at this. This is where we're at. This is just about done. And once I finish sanding this off, I'm gonna tape and we will lay some primer down, and that side will be golden. This side's probably gonna need a couple more layers of fiberglass. I'm gonna come in here and sand it down again, get it as flat as we can before we have to mess around with it. And then, yeah, so right now I'm actually gonna move the bumpers and such out into the sun, because I mean, they've just been trapped in here the whole time, and they can use some curing. So I will do that. I'll probably move them out into the yard just so you know, the sand the stuff flying off the sanding won't really mess with it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Back here, almost wrapped up with both sides actually. This side is basically completely formed now. That spot was done a little bit ago, so that's had some Bondo on it. That's the second layer. It should be pretty smooth after that one. This one, this spot just has to harden a little bit, shape up, and it should be pretty close, if not done, and then I can Bondo it. We got that spot and that spot there. And then we come over here. I just finished taping off this side for primer. So this side is all ready to be primed in after I sand that little spot right there. And then we'll primer it, and it should be looking pretty good. I'm excited. Hopefully it turns out like I want it to. And then, yeah, we'll move on. We are now into the third day of doing this. This will probably be the last part of this video for today. I'll probably end up starting the next video in the same day today. I just want to address the primer here, and then we will move on. So this is the primer. Obviously the bodywork does not look perfect whatsoever, but that's because most of this is behind the fender flare anyway. I am going to sand this edge with like 800 grit probably, and then if there are imperfections, which I mean I can see a couple of them, we're just gonna take a very thin layer of Bondo and go over that. We'll come on this side, we'll do the same thing. This one is not really much to do. I'll wipe down anything there, sand the edges. Most of this stuff is behind the fender flare, besides like stuff that sticks out right there, and this stuff that sticks out there, and then that little portion where the paint was bubbling. But most of that's hidden, so I don't have to really worry about that one. And then, yeah, we're gonna hop right into trying to fix these corners down here. I'm really trying to, you know, come up with the best game plan for these, but I really don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably gonna pull the fender flare, or the inner fender. It's probably my best bet, and then start from there. This side, it's going to be a lot easier than that side. I'm also going to be drilling holes in the bottom of them to help drain next time, so we don't have this problem again. But yeah, that's where we're at for now. So I will come back once I've gotten somewhere. We are moving right along, wasting no time, because today's actually a gift. We really were supposed to have rain right now, and I somehow lucked out. So we are going ahead and we're going to get this done as soon as we can. So there's some mesh in there. You can see we're starting to form with fiberglass on this side. This side was a little bit easier than this side was. This side we went ahead and angle grinded and did everything we can. To this one, we got a lot of mesh up in that one. This one should form decently well, though. I got that holding a mesh piece behind it, so hopefully the mesh attaches to the back of it, and then that'll work. I'm actually gonna go ahead right now and grab some sandpaper and sand these couple spots here. I did some spots there, I did some spots here, and then it should be good. So there's that. I sanded this lip off so it's smooth now, and that's where we were at. So I'm gonna grab sandpaper. I'm gonna hit those back spots while this fiberglass up front dries, and I'm actually running low on fiberglass, so this is not good. So yeah, we're gonna keep moving along, and I'll come back once I've hopefully finished the rears. We're just wrapping up sanding this side off. I went over here and I sanded. We went and changed some clothes. I was dying out here. So this side is basically ready to be primed in again. it'll just get some light coats of primer there. And then, yeah, now we're going to be on lunch break. So about 12:30, I think. 12:40. We got spaghetti and a Banksterberry bang. That is the bang for today. So while this stuff dries and then while I get ready to finish that up, we will be eating lunch and I'll come back. All right, second layer of fiberglass just went down in the corners here. It's starting to shape, but thick amount of fiberglass, so that's not good. Come over here, same thing. This one's starting to look a lot better. Yeah, if I'm out of fiberglass, it's gonna cause a problem. Not really sure what I'm gonna do about that yet, because that's kind of what my whole thing is dictating on now. But yeah, I'm getting ready to prime this in over here. Probably spray down a couple layers. I'm really debating on throwing down the paint today or not. Don't know. Really don't know. I want to. I really do want to. But I got to make sure the rain holds off. And if the rain holds off, then it's no problem. But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely going to start priming this in, though, and then we'll make that decision, I guess. So I will come back once we've gotten somewhere. Had some time now. I've basically put together the front bumper completely. Fog lights are in, lower valence is on. I painted this middle guard, too, to make the blacks match, because it looks a lot better that way. The back harness is back on this with all the sensors, and so is the cap. It started to drizzle a little bit, so I came out here and decided to start working on this. License plate's back on. Everything is together here. Our corners are coming along. I'm actually going to go ahead and sand them for the first time now. They're going to need some sanding, obviously. I'll show you guys what that looks like. So there is the first one. Obviously, still needs to be formed a little bit. And here is the second one. Obviously, still needs to be formed a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and throw an 80 grit pad on the sander, and we're going to go ahead and sand that away and then get ready for the next layer of fiberglass. So I'm going to go do that. To move along here, I'm not sure if I showed this full thing done and painted here. We got this back piece painted. I painted the insides of these after I sanded them just to, you know, help prevent some rust. But these corner fenders are coming along pretty well. Come over here, you can see it's pretty shaped up. I just got to add a little bit like down here, and then we're gonna be drilling holes in the bottom of it to help it let stuff out, and then I'm just gonna finish shaping it, and then it'll get bondoed and it should be good. Same thing over here. Well, you can see this one's coming along a little bit better than the other one. It's pretty much done. It just needs, we got like stuff like that. We got to sand and then, you know, just even it out and bondo it. And then this side will be done as well. Monday morning, I just went ahead and, you know, was looking around, checking everything out. This bumper looks really, really good. Obviously, it's a little dusty right now, so it's going to be dirty, but whatever. Yeah, so really the only thing I have left to do is that I need to go and get these bolts replaced. So I have them right here, the cut ones. I'm gonna have to go to Ace Hardware and pick those up. But yeah, that's really the only thing I got left. I mean, I just gotta get bolts that find the same size basically, so that'll slip through there. Yesterday I went ahead and I put all the tabs back in the fender flares, besides the one for the second one up front for both of those, because they're stuck on the truck. But everything else has their fender flares. I'm gonna have to wet sand that primer out there. It'll get primed again. I might go gray primer. I think I'm gonna have to pick up some more primer anyway. Then I'll paint it. I think I have a method for how I'm gonna paint it. We're gonna go color to where the fender flare starts. You can see where the body kicks out, and then we're gonna gloss to that point. So hopefully that works and it matches pretty well, and you can't really notice it. I'm not worried about the passenger side as much as the driver's side. The driver's side damages go up a little bit farther than the passenger side does, so that's my little worry there. But besides that, these bumpers look really good. I'm really excited to put them back on. It's absolutely freezing today, so I'm not looking forward to really working today. So that's basically where we're at with that. I just got a bunch of stuff laying all over the place. I mean, I really don't know. I gotta finish up those front quarter panels. They don't really need much left to them. Probably just another sanding, maybe another thing of fiberglass. I don't really know. I might just be able to get away with Bondo. I'm gonna look for some seal skin while I'm at the hardware store. Hopefully they have some of that, just like a glazing putty to put over top. That'll help me with my finish. So that's where I'm at now. I'm probably gonna head over to the hardware store now. What's going on, guys? It is the next morning now. I think this is the third or the fourth day in this video. It's fucking cold as shit outside. Well, I'll be damned. It is cold as shit. But we just got back from the store. None of our buddies were at O'Reilly's today. The manager was there, but we got our glazing putty here. By now, all these bumpers are basically dry. Like, they're solid. They've all been cleaned. Yeah, like, they're solid now to go back on. So I'll probably be throwing those on a little bit. I'm going to finish up this bodywork, hopefully, and not freeze. I want to get the heater fired up in here. But, yeah, I got to go sand out the Bondo one last time, and then we're going to throw the glazing putty over top of it, and it should clean up pretty nicely. I'm going to do the same in the back. I'm going to throw some glazing putty over the final primer work that we did back there because it's all going to get painted again anyway. So then, you know, maybe we'll start taping off the back end or something, but it's a little windy out there, so I don't know yet. I'm hoping to get some paint down today. The bumpers are definitely going to go on today, so that's where we stand for now. Well, we just went ahead and sanded down our corners, but we had to take a pause because it looks like we're working in the midst of a snowstorm here. It is like April 15th or something like that, and it's snowing 14th, I think. The snow just started coming down pretty bad, actually. So I'm going to take a little break, hang out in here in front of the heater for a little bit, and then once the snow stops, hopefully we'll go out there, we'll blow off our spot, wipe it down, and we'll throw our glazing putty on. And then we have to let that dry, and then we should be good to paint. So, yeah, I'll come back once I've waited a little bit. We just went ahead and threw down a layer of glazing putty. I'll come out here and show you guys that. I started putting some of the bolts back into the bumper here because I'm going to get ready to come put this front bumper on. I could do that one alone. I've done it before. That's not really a big problem. Here's our glazing putty. I might come out here and throw some down over there. Probably will. But, it's probably going to need a second layer of it just because this side came out a little bit better. It should almost be dry by now, I'd assume. This side is almost done. This side basically just needed a little bit of touch up in certain spots. I might add a little bit more. I'm definitely going to have to come back for a second round with the glazing putty. And then after that one, we should be able to start priming everything. These front quarter panels I'm not really worried about because they're going to get painted black anyway from that body line. So this body line is just going to be left as primer probably. And then the back ones obviously will get painted red because you're going to see those. But the front ones I'm not too worried about. So that's basically where we stand with that one. I'm going to go fill up a bucket with hot water, I think, and start letting paint sit in it just because it'll warm up the paint and the paint will lay a lot better that way. And then once we sand down this glazing putty and we lay our second layer, I will go ahead and start throwing on this bumper while that layer dries. So that's the plan for now. I'm going to skip ahead to that.
Day ones, no time for fake ones. Got me, I got you. All dreams, they come true. Stay down till the end. Need me, I need them. Whole team gon' make M's. No time for fake friends. Too many people be calling my phone, but I never be picking it up. Got everyone that I need in my circle, I never be going and switching it up. Rocking with the people who been following me when I never thought it would've happened and I never got love. Now they wanna piggyback on everything I got. I never knew them from the bottom, but now I've had enough. Please stay away, find a new hobby, cause you've been too close to my personal space. Don't make me call out your names, but I'll go there and you gonna make me put you in your place. I'm trying to put my whole crew in a race. Came a long way from that minimum wage. Funny how money be bringing out people who never remember the time that they paid. Count it up on my two hands. If you wanna talk, I need two bands. I don't play around with no loose ends, and I never wanted no new friends. I keep it real, you can ask the fans. Don't get involved fault if you're not my fan, but if you were willing to sacrifice when I rolled the dice, then I'm counting you in. Day ones, no time for fake ones. Got me,
There we go. There's our messed up spot. Rest of it's all right. There's a little bit up there, and then the other side is better, but yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna go ahead and sand with 2000 grit, and then we're gonna go to 3000 grit and so on, and then get ready for clear. So I will come back once I'm done with that. Sanded it down. We got the clear mixing. Let's get clearing. Clear is down on both sides. This gun sprays, well, not really gun, but this can spray is really interesting actually. It actually comes out like a spray gun would. It's interesting. But yeah, we got one down, 2 more to go. And then you know, we'll move on. I'm gonna go pretty heavy on these because I plan to wet sand out like a good bit because I want them to get it to match decently, I guess. So we're gonna wet sand quite a bit and buff and polish. So I'm gonna go pretty heavy on these next couple coats just so we got a lot to work with, and you know, that way we got more room for air in case, you know, something goes wrong. So that's where I'm gonna start off, and then I will come back. This is not how I thought I was gonna be ending the video, but apparently it snowed last night and it's still snowing over our nice new paint job. So that's wonderful. That's where we're at right now. Love that. Well, that's wonderful. Well, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like down below. Subscribe for more videos. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.